Hello and welcome to the Panel by Panel podcast. If this is your first time coming across us, the basic idea is that every episode I try my best to explain a comic book storyline to my friend Aaron, who is a comic book newcomer. As if you're a repeated listener of this podcast, then you'll know that this one is a little bit late. You might have seen the post that we put out on social media explaining why we've both just been ill, and it led to the recording of this episode being pushed back a couple of weeks, in fact. But I assure you, by the time you're listening to this podcast, we are about to record the next episode. So both of this month's episodes, which are Halloween themed, should be coming at you pretty thick and fast. This one in particular is about Robert Kirkman's Marvel Zombies, which is something that we just had to do. And the next one coming up is a really fun one as well. Probably a little bit more serious than this one. This one is just a lot of fun. So I hope you enjoy it. This is the Panel by Panel podcast episode on Marvel Zombies.
I mean, we could do, but I feel like I like having the bit where we chat nonsense at the start.
We can chat nonsense as well.
But then
I had to re-listen to the Robot Gilliman Rebute, sorry. And they chat shit big time there. So I was just thinking, I don't know. That's your choice, man. Yeah. I feel it's like, don't get me wrong, it's a little, I don't know if it's more or less time for you, because then you just sit down and just have the whole thing.
It's really like, it takes no time at all. If it took time, then I would stop doing it, but literally as I go to edit the podcast, I literally just plug in the mic and then do it in whatever I say is what I put in. Done.
Welcome to the podcast.
Yeah. And then that's it. That's all I say. But I just say it really close.
Welcome to the podcast.
I at least, by doing the pre-recorded like intro separate to the episode, it means I can put my headphones in and listen to, like, make sure that it sounds good first. Whereas, so at least then, if people only listen to the start, they're like, well, that podcast sounds good. And then when they get 5 minutes in, it's just us talking nonsense.
That's true.
So at least it sets people up for being like, oh, this sounds alright.
I was just thinking, the podcast I listen to, I don't hear him do like pre-recorded ones. But that's on you, so... If you don't want to do it, that's chill. If you want to do it, that's chill. I'm chill.
Nice. I mean, I won't do it for this one, but maybe if it gets to the point where I'm like, I'm just going to say this in like every intro, then I'll just start doing it.
We have to get back into the groove.
Yeah. There is no groove.
No, the groove got killed by Screwfix.
Yeah.
It got screwed.
Nice.
And now we need to fix it.
Nice.
Ding.
Wow.
Oh, let's go.
You already know what we're doing because I put the post out because we were both really ill and couldn't record.
Yeah, I think what we realised is you got ill and then just miraculously were alright. As soon as you turned alright, I got ill. And it was lovely. Really good timing. And then I think we both had COVID in the end because we both had bad symptoms and we were bedridden for like a day or two.
And it would have set up perfectly to be like in the post I put up, it was like, oh, we're going to do Marvel Zombies, but we've been dealing with a sickness of our own. And then I didn't realise it was going to go on that long.
Oh, wow, nice. As some people would say.
But, yeah, well, it really sucked. So
it went on a lot longer than I thought mine did. Literally, it was Friday where I was like, oh, I'm all good again.
Yeah.
But, hey, we're here now, and I know we're doing zombies.
Yeah.
The only realisation I have with zombies, just to hit everyone else with it, which is probably majority of other people saying, is what if. I don't know if you even watched all.
I haven't actually seen that episode, no.
I think it's like the third or fourth episode. They introduce the zombies, and it's all like Scarlet Witch, and it's like cool. But that's all I've been introduced to with zombies, and that's when I mentioned it to you when I first watched. I was like, "Carl, you need to watch this What If episode because it's sick."
Yeah.
There's some others on there which isn't in it, but the zombie one's so good.
Yeah.
So I'm quite excited.
This is a really well-known Marvel story, and people wanted it made into like a movie for ages. I think originally they did plan like a Marvel Zombies movie. I think they announced it in one of the slates like ages ago, and then it was one of those things that just fell off, and then they did the What If episode. But yeah, people really want to see this. I just haven't watched the episode, and to be honest, Marvel Zombies is not that good. I'm sorry to start the episode on a low.
You take that back.
But I don't really get why people want to see it so bad. Don't get me wrong, it'd be really cool to see in a movie, but there's not really a lot to it. As you'll find out. One of the things you mentioned from looking at the cover, first of all, one of the reasons why people love Marvel Zombies is because the covers are really good for all of them. You said you didn't recognise any of the 3 names on the book, right?
Yeah, so the 3 names we got here is Kirkman, Phillips, and Chung. If that's just one dude, then I
It's
do
not.
apologise. Kirkman, Phillips, Chung. That's my name. Like,
So
sorry. But...
the writer is Robert Kirkman. He wrote The Walking Dead.
Oh, okay.
So then...
Is he still writing it? Because he should stop.
I don't know if the comics are still going. I have no idea.
Oh, he wrote the
He
comics.
wrote the comics. He didn't write the show.
series.
I think
Okay.
he was a producer on some of the show, but I don't know. But
I
yeah,
thought the
he
name-
wrote the comics.
thought the name Kirkman rang a bell.
Yeah. So then this became a possibility. But at least from the book, I'm sure Robert Kirkman loves comic books and loves superheroes because he got inspired to write The Walking Dead. But this book is it doesn't make you think that he likes superheroes that much. He likes zombie stuff, and his sense of humor is really macabre stuff. In Walking Dead, where you'll have I don't know how to describe it, but the comedy in it is really bleak comedy, which if you like zombie movies, that's cool. If you are a comic book fan, you're I don't get it. This is just weird.
It's like a dark comedy kind of thing to a point.
Yeah, which
But
is
only
weird when
zombie
you take
lovers
Marvel
will-
and then
yeah.
do it. But at the same time, if you're a fan of zombie stuff, then you're oh, this is pretty cool. And there are some cool stuff.
Like a zombie in
does.
both his legs so he can't run after people.
Yeah.
So people who like zombies will be like, oh, that's funny. But
Yeah.
people looking at it go, oh, that's really messed up.
Yeah, people who this book is a spin-off of a Fantastic Four storyline. So people who read that book and then were I'll carry on reading where this goes, and then Robert Kirkman's here's this. They're what?
I know you said Fantastic Four, I don't know where
But
this
then
is
people
gonna go.
really like it. So this came before Blackest Night, which is kind of DC's version of it. We'll do Blackest Night because I think Blackest Night's pretty good.
Oh, does that involve Batman by any chance?
It does.
What?
It's more centered around Green Lantern, because Green
hate
Lantern's
Green
thing is
let's go.
in Brightest Day and Blackest Night, and so it's we haven't done Green Lantern yet. There's a lot of silliness in Green Lantern. Blackest Night is one of those things where it's if you take it with a pinch of salt, it's really cool.
That's like anything DC though, right?
Yeah, yeah. Especially Green Lantern and stuff.
Apart from Batman, I guess, in general.
Some of it, I guess.
I say the
but-
Batman stuff we've done is fair, but I mean, let's just go back to your promise of the Flash, which everyone, I think, if you want the Flash, please tell him,
Yeah.
because we need that. We need that bloody treadmill.
Yeah. We'll do it. So anyway, this is a spin-off from Fantastic Four. The Fantastic Four storyline that this built on from, there was an alternative reality thing where there was a young version of the Fantastic Four in a different universe, and they were able to talk to each other. And the young Reed Richards is spoken to by our universe is Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic, and he gets told to go through this portal and they'll meet each other, and they're oh damn, that's pretty cool. They're wow, that could be really important for the world. Oh cool, man. Yeah, I'll come over.
The smartest man in the world goes, oh yeah, nice.
They do it. You say the smartest man in the world. They do it, and he gets tricked. All the people in this other universe are zombies.
Not very smart.
And so this book picks up literally right after that happens, and so you're what? Where a bunch of the characters from our universe have gone into this world where everybody is zombies. Well, actually, I think it's the zombie. I don't know if the zombies go through the portal or a bunch of the Avengers and stuff go through the portal. I think. I'm not sure, actually.
Hold on,
But when you get there,
we can cut this bit. Let me just double check.
the world when you find it here is most people are dead.
So it looks like Magneto, is it?
Magneto is one of the only people left alive. Yeah. So, at the end of the Fantastic Four book...
Comic Magneto is so cool, man.
Yeah.
Why couldn't they
He's
do
like
this?
the last man standing at the end of the Fantastic Four book.
You know what? I'm just gonna go back.
Yeah, some of the artwork with Magneto is sick.
He gets fucking ruined.
He's able to close the portal and stop the zombies getting through to other worlds. Basically, he's like the last person that can do it.
So this first page here, for example,
yeah,
is where he says it works. The machine's been destroyed. It ends here. Those monsters, they're trapped in this dimension.
yeah. I haven't
it just
read
goes on
the
in-
ending of that Fantastic Four book. I picked it up right at the start and then had to like work out what happened. But yeah, he's able to close the portal, but in doing so, he gets surrounded by all of the zombies.
So there are some heroes here which I don't really know.
Okay. To be honest,
So you have Daredevil, Spider-Man, Thor, Moon Knight. I don't know that big dude.
that's Giant Man.
Giant Man.
That's Hank Pym. He alternates between being Ant-Man and Giant Man.
Sorry, I didn't know Giant Man was a thing. Is that Luke Cage?
Yeah.
Because he's got the ripped shirt. and
The
stuff.
continuity is really weird in this book. Because Robert Kirkman was like, whatever, it's a different universe, I don't care. Some people, like Luke Cage, has like his old outfit from like the 80s and 90s.
I was
And
gonna
then
say-
some people are up to date, some people aren't. It's just like picking and choosing.
I mean, you say they updated him. They basically just closed his shirt.
I mean, they just put him in like a regular shirt.
And it's still yellow, so you still know it's Luke Cage.
Yeah.
But who's
he's not
this
changed
dude
too
with the
much.
wings?
I think that might be Archangel or
Archangel.
regular Angel, one of them.
Sorry, I just don't know that.
Yeah. So, like I said, in this universe, the zombies have basically killed everybody. The only people left on the Earth are the superheroes that are zombies.
Okay.
And when we get to this point, they're in the last days of like having any food left. So they're struggling.
They're hungry.
The zombies in this world work different to most zombies. Like, they get hungry for flesh, but it's kind of like a vampire when they want blood. They're fine. Not like when they're not hungry, when they've eaten, they're themselves. Like, they can remember their whole history. They can remember what happened before they were a zombie. And then when they haven't eaten for a while, it's like an unstoppable urge. Like, they're themselves. They know it's wrong, but they're like, I have to eat, sort of thing. So, like, they are like the Avengers still, but they have to eat. And also, they don't bite a person and then let them turn into a zombie because they want to eat them. So that's why the Avengers are the only people left, because if you're a regular person, you ain't going to be able to beat the Avengers.
So they made like an alliance.
Because they've still got their powers and stuff.
They made like an alliance to be like, okay, we keep each other together.
I guess so. I think they do like constantly talk about like wanting to eat each other, but they're like, no, come on, we got to work together. They're also working together because, like I said, they're still there, like fully in the head. So they're like, we might be able to work out a way to like cure this kind of thing. So they only turn into like monsters when they're hungry, which is like a Snickers advert, which I never really thought about before. But damn, they really copied Marvel Zombies. But yeah, Magneto makes a really cool stand, and he's like, "You idiots! I'm in New York. Like, there's so much metal around." So he's just chucking metal at them all, and like, he does pretty well. He like chops the top of Captain America's head off. I think he takes one of Spider-Man's legs off. Maybe
He chops it in half.
yeah. Like, it's ridiculous. Eventually, he gets hit by Hawkeye, right?
Yeah, so it looks like, Hawkeye fires an arrow at him, and then Magneto throws Captain America's shield and just decapitates Hawkeye.
Yeah.
So
This is one of the things they notice from this fight, is that the zombies can still function the exact same, even with all of their injuries. They don't feel it. So, like, they know that it's missing. They're not like, they don't get their arm chopped off and they don't notice. They don't look at it like, oh, wait, when did that happen? They can feel it going, but they don't feel the pain. So they can carry on doing what they do.
it's just like real life LARPing.
So like when Captain America gets like half his head cut off,
He points at his head and laughs.
yeah,
Which is like,
and he like for the rest of the book he's like freaked out because he's like, I shouldn't be able to do any of this and I still can do it. So like every time they're like, Cap, we need to do this, we need to do that, he's like, I'm missing half of my head and I can still talk to you. So like again, that's why it's different to like other zombies where it's probably not like a disease. It's, I mean, no Marvel, it's probably something magical. I should also explain, this is just the first Marvel zombie story. There's way more. I haven't read any of them. Robert Kirkman only wrote the first two, and then it really fell off. So I think they do explain where the zombies come from and everything. I should mention, one of the Marvel Zombies books is a crossover with Ash and the Evil Dead and the Army of Darkness.
I mean, I'm not surprised.
No, I mean,
all.
it makes sense.
The amount of crossovers Ash has done in general has been mad. So, but how would he even, you know what, that's a different question altogether.
Yeah. So, they beat Magneto. They all kind of just like sit around and talk for a bit about eating Magneto. Hulk eats Magneto's whole leg, like just swallows it. So when he turns, this is what I mean about Robert Kirkman's sense of humour. When he turns back into Bruce Banner, he still has the full undigested leg inside of him, which slowly starts to come through, like his chest. And so there's a point in one of the books where it just comes through, and he's like, he can't feel it, but he's like...
yeah. He's just led, but he's just like feeling real
like,
bad.
He's like us after Go Perry, like... Yeah. They all just like sit around and talk about being zombies for a bit, all the terrible stuff they've done. Obviously, Spider-Man is the biggest like complainer of all. I mean, he ate MJ and Aunt May and stuff, so like, but he's still him, so like he feels all of the regret for doing it, but he knows he had to do it. And then the kind of next plot point which goes on for a while is that the Silver Surfer arrives. How much do you know about Silver Surfer? They would have explained what I'm about to explain in the second Fantastic Four movie, but I know that movie a lot better than most people, so I don't know whether you remember.
My thoughts on the Fantastic Four 2. I saw it in the cinema first off.
Yeah. Me too.
Regret. But isn't it the Silver Surfer comes down and then speaks to the Fantastic Four and he's like, wow, you guys are pretty cool dudes. And then Victor Von Doom, amazing. But Victor Von Doom's like, I hate you, Mr. Silver Surfer, and we all hate you. And then he turns Silver Surfer against the Fantastic Four just because the Silver Surfer's like, wait, humanity's not very cool. He says on a surfboard.
Yeah.
He's like, you guys ain't cool.
You guys are rad.
And then Victor Von Doom's like, yeah, we hate you. And it's just kind of like oust the cool new dude.
I think Doom does have like a part of it. But yeah, basically Silver Surfer's job is that he is Galactus's like scout. So he goes to planets, looks around, see if there's anything worth keeping, and then he goes back to he tells the people, Galactus has arrived. You are so blessed to have been chosen to be eaten by Galactus. And then he's like, see you later. And then he goes back to Galactus and he's like, yeah, you can eat that planet. And then he does. So he just scouts ahead.
Oh.
So when he gets to Earth in the movie, he's like, but he has to do it. He doesn't have a choice. He gets like given some of Galactus's power and stuff. Like he has no choice, which is why he's like emotionless. Like he doesn't want to kill people or anything. He's not an evil person. He's just like brainwashed. Like, I have to do this.
Do you get told in the movie that he's Galactus' thing?
Yeah. And then the big cloud comes at the end, which is Galactus.
Oh man, that movie really sucked.
Yeah. Galactus is like a big cloud that just like comes over and then,
to the point where I even forgot. I thought I was just like it was like a high school film, but Fantastic Four. Like Victor Von Doom didn't like the cool new guy.
I know that Doom helps them, But I just remembered they fight Doom. I think towards the end because he steals Silver Surfer's surfboard.
Yeah, and they
And
try
like,
and give
Surfer Doom, but it's so dumb.
they give Silver Surfer's thing back,
And then he's like, "I'll help." Yeah, and then he's like, "Oh, you guys aren't so bad after all. Maybe you guys can finally help me be freed from Galactus." And then then he helps out.
Thing. That's Oh yeah, that film was trash. Yeah, I really don't like Silver Surfer.
I love Silver Surfer, but that really sucks.
Fair enough.
But yeah, so he shows up in this universe. In this universe, he's never been there before, so he doesn't know the Avengers. So he's doing his thing where he looks around and stuff, and he's like, everyone is dead apart from you guys who are zombies. So he's like, this world's gotta go. Like, this one's fine. You can take this one. Obviously, the zombies who are running out of food because they've killed everyone are like, who's that shiny dude? Maybe we can eat him. So Hank Pym, Ant-Man / Giant Man, is like, you guys go figure out what to do with the Silver Surfer. I'm gonna go look for Wasp, who is his wife. But he doesn't. He actually goes to his secret lab, which you are just discovering. Again, little bit of that Robert Kirkman sense of so dark that it's funny. In his lab, he has Black Panther hooked up to life support, missing half of an arm, and he's basically keeping him on ice. So whenever Hank Pym is hungry, he's like, I gotta go, guys, and then eats a little bit of Black Panther, but not enough to kill him, just so he can keep him alive. His reason for doing this isn't just because he's greedy. His reason for doing this is that when they're hungry, they lose their humanity and stuff. They can't think like they usually can. So by keeping himself fed, he can think properly, and he's like the smartest guy in the world. So he's going to come up with a plan to cure everybody.
Yeah.
But to do it, he's like, I need to stay full, away from the hunger. So he is keeping Black Panther on ice.
I mean, it's a pretty I forgot how smart Hank Pym was. That's a really good idea actually. But I see that he gets found out.
However, he does admit that he is he's starting to enjoy the taste of flesh, and that even if he cured himself, he wouldn't be able to stop eating people.
I mean,
so you had a good idea there where you're like, he's doing it. He's doing something real messed up, but he's doing it for the sake of humanity. And then it's like, no, Hank Pym is just a horrible character.
I guess it's similar to bacon though, right? It's once you have your first taste of bacon, you're like, oh man, imagine never eating bacon again. And so whenever I've tried going, even for a week or two, I'm like, oh man, could really do some bacon right now. So I guess it's the same thing.
Yeah, so his wife, the Wasp, shows up and catches him. So he grows really big and bites her head off. But he knows that she'll be fine because the zombies can live through it. But then he realizes that the zombies can't eat each other. It tastes bad and it doesn't satisfy the hunger in any way. So they're like, okay, well, even if we wanted to just start eating each other, we can't. It doesn't work. So he knows that Wasp's going to be okay. However, it is a reoccurring thing in comics that Hank Pym treats his wife terribly. So that's part of it as well.
It was in the movies where it was kind of it wasn't said, but it was kind of mentioned.
Yeah, it's a really famous.
Then they go oh wait, no, we need to save her though because she's trapped in the weird dimension. And then I think it's in the second. Do you remember Ant-Man and the Wasp film?
I've not seen it.
Have you not seen it?
No.
Firstly, not very good. But that's where it starts getting a little bit oh, you're not as nice a guy as you were seen as in the first Ant-Man.
Yeah. There's a really famous, I don't know what storyline it's in, but where Hank Pym slaps his wife, and it was a huge deal at the time. And that's part of the reason why when Marvel did Ant-Man, they used, you know how when people think Spider-Man, they think Peter Parker?
Yeah.
When you think Ant-Man, you think Hank Pym. However, in the movies, they use Scott Lang, Paul Rudd's character. That's kind of a reason why, is because Hank Pym in comics is not very nice. Unless it's a kid-friendly comic, right? Then he's I'm just a smart scientist.
Yeah, so looking at this, it was Marvel's most controversial moment.
Yeah.
It was an accident as Hank Pym striked his wife Janet.
Yeah.
During an issue of the Avengers.
Yeah, it was a big deal.
I haven't got much of the thing behind, the context, but yeah, it seemed to be a massive
It was a really big
and they
deal.
accidentally did it, which is the funniest part. Where they were like, yeah, man hitting a woman, that's fine.
Yeah, and then like now people bring it up constantly, and they're like, "Oh my god!" But they kind of played into it with making Hank Pym a not very
for
nice
Marvel
person.
only being brought up on that, then that's fair. That's like, is that? Oh, that we've only got to protect ourselves against that. Oh,
Yeah,
that's fine.
That's not too bad. Yeah,
That's
You deal
like
with
Disney just going, yeah, Walter Disney.
that. Mulder.
Walt Disney is announcing. They go, oh yeah, City
Don't
Walt
worry about
Disney, and they're just like, do not mention any of the cartoons we made, please. Like, come on.
So the group of zombies that beat Magneto, they're supposed to meet up with the rest of the zombies, who are led by Iron Man. So we were with like Cap's little team, and then they go meet with Iron Man's little team, and they're like, we ate Magneto and we didn't save any for the rest of them. So now we've got to explain why we're not hungry anymore, which, you know, pretty tough. So they come up with an excuse for why they don't have the body of Magneto. They say something stupid.
Is that Electro?
No, Iron Fist.
Iron Fist. Oh, Iron Fist looks dumb in the comics. I forgot.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Iron Man doesn't believe them. So he goes, he just says to Spider-Man, "Hey, Spidey, how's the family?" And he just like breaks down crying, and he's like, "See, he wouldn't have done that if he was hungry. He wouldn't have reacted like that. So I know that you guys ate him," because they could try to come up with like a stupid excuse, like his body got destroyed by an explosion or something. So Tony's fuming because he's like, "You guys ate Magneto without us. That's not cool." So they're like, "But don't worry, there's this Silver Surfer dude that we can eat instead." So he's going to come and tell us about Galactus, and then we'll all jump him. And he's like, Silver Surfer's just confused like this whole time, because
as an emotionless dude, he doesn't show much. But even this photo here, he's just like,
that
wow.
panel. Yeah. So they start fighting the Silver Surfer. They have a little bit of a fight. Silver Surfer's really, really powerful. So they eventually get him, because Hulk knocks him off of his board and just chomps on his head, and takes his head off. But again, this is what I mean about the covers. The covers are really good.
That's like Wolverine and the Hulk just chomping on eyeballs in the bloody reflection of his blades. That's so sick.
The like significance of that is Hulk is the one that kills Silver Surfer. Wolverine tries to cut him at one point with his claws, and they just snap on Silver Surfer, like when he tries to cut him. Like, ooh. Silver Surfer is really, really hard to beat. He's super powerful.
Oh no, it doesn't snap his thing, it just rips his arm off.
Like that. Yeah, because
and then his arm has to regrow. He's like, oh man.
Yeah. But
wait, so here's my first problem with this. How is Ghost Rider a zombie? Because isn't he a demon? But that's his whole thing, is that he has...
That's a very good question.
Sorry, I've just seen... That's the first time Ghost Rider's been in this, so...
It's tough to tell. I can't explain it because I don't know what version of Ghost Rider it is and what he was doing in continuity. Because he could be Ghost Rider like the one in the movie where he sold his soul to the devil kind of thing. So he's still a dude, but he just does the devil's work kind of thing. But then there are like other versions of Ghost Rider where he is like barely human kind of thing. So that would be tough to explain.
I guess, yeah, different dimension, do whatever you want kind of
So
thing.
the main like crew of people that we've been following, they eat Silver Surfer. This is not how it should work, but it does because this book's silly and they play into that. By eating him, they gain his powers, so they can fly and they can shoot like cosmic energy. That's a hell of a battle. Yeah, Black Panther wakes up, manages to get out. He finds the Wasp's head. She can still talk, obviously, because she doesn't feel the pain or anything.
Yeah, so it looks like when Hank Pym got found out by the Wasp, he didn't refreeze him and panicked and ran away.
He just has him like doped up to the point where he's like barely conscious. But yeah, I guess he forgot to do it or something. But Black Panther's okay.
You say okay. He hasn't got an arm and he hasn't got half a leg.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's just holding.
He's doing better.
He's got a
He's had
crutch,
better days.
and he's holding Wasp's head.
Yeah, and he's like, hey, the Wasp, you're my friend. And then she's like, yeah, no, I'll come with you, but like, can I just like have a little bite? And he's like, no. So they're just on a little mission together. They encountered this funny looking team. They're called the Acolytes. They used to be like Magneto's little faction that helped him out. And they show up. They had asked Magneto like if he needed assistance on the planet, and Magneto was like, no, get as far away from here as you possibly can. And then they just showed up anyway. They find Black Panther, and they're like, where's Magneto? And Black Panther's like, I don't know what's going on. So the Acolytes, they have like a little argument. I think Black Panther kills one of them. That might be...
Oh, that might be later on.
That might be like, yeah, just after this little bit with the Avengers. Yeah. But yeah.
But before that, Galactus turns up.
Galactus shows up, starts murdering people. At this point, the Avengers are arguing amongst each other. You know, like the bit in Lord of the Rings where the Uruk-hai and the Orcs are like, you were going to eat them without us. They have that whole debate and stuff because they're like, you ate Silver Surfer and got cool powers. Like, come on, man. So, and then Galactus shows up and he just starts murdering everyone.
That's a pretty funny panel.
Yeah, I mean, Galactus artwork in general is just amazing. So, yeah, Galactus just starts murdering people. The team who ate the Silver Surfer, they eventually follow Hank Pym to his secret lab where he's like, I got to tell you guys something. And when he gets there, he's going to explain about Black Panther. And then they're like, what is it you wanted to tell us? And he's like, nothing. So Hank Pym, Bruce Banner, and Tony Stark are like, we got to come up with an idea of how we can beat this really tall guy, because they don't really know anything about Galactus. They're like, we don't know what to do. So you know, as the Avengers like to do, they make a giant cosmic cannon using their cosmic powers to try and shoot down Galactus. The heroes, that's what I meant about the Black Panther thing. I've just got it out of continuity. I think does he kill one of them or something? One of them's being really cocky to him.
Yeah, so there's the main leader of the Acolytes who's basically trying to, you know, do the sensible decision when you're in like a zombie apocalypse kind of thing, which is be diplomatic. And then you have the rest of them, which are just being very fucking aggressive.
Yeah.
To the end of Black Panther throws Wasp's head at one of them, and he bites him. And then he, even though he has one arm and one leg, he's just absolutely beating on the others.
Yeah.
So with the Acolytes, this is what I just want to make sure. So they are mutants.
Yeah, I think so.
So yeah, I just had to ask because one of them's got like claws, like similar to Wolverine's, but they look like more like, you know how like Wolverine, like not Wolverine, like werewolf claws are. So they like curve inwards kind of thing.
Yeah.
Looks more like that. One's got a fire hand. So I guess he doesn't kill one.
No.
The Wasp does?
Yeah, the one that's being like really unnecessarily aggressive towards
He's the
him.
fire hand man.
And then the others are kind of like, fair point. So they go up into space together. Because the Acolytes have like a giant spaceship. So they go up into space.
Fair enough.
The Avengers come up with this plan of how to beat Galactus with this big cosmic cannon. And then eventually they encounter a bunch of supervillains. So you might see your boy Electro. I can't remember whether he's in the book. There's some more stuff with the Acolytes. There's a very funny thing with the Acolytes that happens in a little bit. I don't know if it happens. Oh yeah, they help out Black Panther. They give him like new limbs and stuff. That's what they're like. How can we help you? And he's like, well, I'm missing like half an arm and half a leg, you know.
So he's Forge. I've never seen Forge before in my life.
Yeah.
So he's an X-Man, but he's just very good with making limbs.
Yeah.
So we got this cosmic thing here. All the boys just absolutely doing bits.
They shoot Galactus with it, and it works. I'm sure. Yeah.
This is the final one. Wow.
There's your boy. There's Electro.
He's on the front cover. I'm so proud of him, man.
Yeah. That Spider-Man artwork is like incredible.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I really like
It's
that.
like him, and he's holding MJ, who's in a wedding dress, and he's like
But she's
all,
dead.
like, cut up
Like,
into pieces and
yeah.
stuff. Like, it's really, really good.
I really like, and it's so dumb, the Human Torch.
Yeah.
He's just a skeleton on fire.
Yeah.
That is sick.
Yeah.
You have... Right, so I had the Ghost Rider problem, right? What about Lizard?
How is he a...
Well,
A
he's
zombie
in this
lizard.
cover right at the back, just behind Dr. Octopus. How is Lizard as... Can you get zombie lizards?
Well, I guess he's just...
I guess you can't get zombie humans, so zombie lizards
he's
make...
just the same, apart from he wants to eat people every now and then.
But doesn't he want to... You know what?
He wants to turn people into lizards.
He wants to... Yeah, sorry for the water supply.
So that cover artwork, which is incredible, again, I think people tend to know Marvel Zombies from the cover art more because they're all classic Marvel covers, but redone with like zombified stuff. So like that wedding image of Peter and MJ is a classic Spider-Man cover, and then they've just redone it, which is really cool.
So going back to what you said about the villains. So
Yeah,
here,
the villains all show up, all zombified
the
as
fifth
well.
issue starts with Victor Von Doom. I'm never going to call him Dr. Doom. His name's too cool. You got your boy Rhino. Who's this fella? Is he...
That's Sabretooth.
Sabretooth. I always got Sabretooth and... Oh, the fella we did.
Oh, Craven.
Craven.
Yeah.
Mixed
I
around.
shouldn't have told you that. It would have taken you ages to get it.
Yeah, this podcast can't go on that long, man. So they're together. They're getting hunted down by Galactus for some reason
Yeah.
now.
So when they shot Galactus, he's clearly felt it. So then the heroes and the villains have a fight, basically over who's going to get Galactus, because Galactus is so big and so powerful that they're going to get really, really powerful from eating him, and they're not going to be hungry for ages. So they all have a big fight over who gets to eat Galactus. But obviously, some of the heroes have already eaten Silver Surfer and have cosmic powers, so they destroy them.
How that's a poster, by the way, would be sick.
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
Who's
I love
this?
the that's he's a Skrull, but I can't remember what his name is. He's like the lead Skrull.
But I just find it funny that
He has like all the powers of the Fantastic Four.
Green Goblin's just on him.
Yeah.
He's like Kevin 11
That's
from Ben 10.
That's actually a great shot. Yeah, Kevin 11 is like literally the Skrulls. Yeah.
Right. Okay. I don't know anything about scrolls. That'll be fun to do later on.
Oh, they show up a lot. Yeah, we'll do Skrulls.
So the other fights, but the problem with fighting these Avengers is that they've eaten the Silver Surfer. So I don't think, personally, I mean, I love Electro to bits, but I don't think he's going to do much.
He gets beaten usually anyway, and yeah, now they have cosmic powers. So
Oh, wow. Sorry. Juggernaut, Wolverine stabs him in the mouth and then uses his cosmic powers to blow up his head.
yeah,
So, they have a big fight, basically.
they have a big fight. Obviously, there's a bit of Captain America and Red Skull.
I like how they do hero again. Marvel always do it when it's a big thing. I mean, they do it in the films anyway. But this guy's villain is this guy's hero. And it's just they do
like
that.
Red Skull and him are fighting. He just starts taking the brains out of the top of his head because his head's open. It's like if you like really like grim, but so grim that it's like funny stuff, then that is Marvel Zombies. But you can't take it serious. Like, it is ridiculous.
So Galactus falls.
Yeah.
Falls down. He's hurt. And then the funny Avengers, the zombie Avengers, then just come in and start eating him.
Yeah.
Right.
There you go. So, as you can see from that top left one, 5 years later on,
Okay.
Black Panther is still chilling with the Acolytes.
He's got robot arm and robot leg now.
Yeah, they helped him out big time. You will
He had a
see,
baby.
yeah, with one of the Acolytes.
Fair enough. Can't turn away the Black Panther, right?
That's the Wasp.
So, how would you say what they've... So the Wasp is still a zombie head? But... Oh, wow, that's funny. He reminds me of, you know, the gas in Hellboy 2?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's such a good shout. Yeah.
Like, so what they've done is they've built an entire robot body around her, and then similar to Futurama, where they just put her head in water in a jar and just pop it on top, and so that's how she's living. So she can't really bite people anymore, which is good. But my question comes in: are they feeding her?
You know,
because you said at the start, I don't know how sure you were of this, but when they need like human flesh to basically get a bit of their like kind of consciousness back, right?
Yeah.
So how are they feeding her?
Yeah, they don't ever explain. There's a lot of stuff they don't explain.
It's Marvel Zombies, man. Like, yeah, I don't know why I'm asking these questions.
They never explain like what happens if they go for a long time without eating, because they obviously don't need it, because Captain America has half his head cut off and he's still exactly the same. So it's clearly nothing to do with they need food to carry on living. So I don't know.
That's fair enough. So at the end of this, though, they have come back to planet Earth. That's why they're all here.
They see that there's no detectable life left on Earth, so they're like, maybe the zombies are all dead. Let's go check it out.
Next panel, another world. Okay, I can kind of see where this is gonna go.
Cuts to this alien planet. There's these funny looking aliens on it. I don't know how to explain them. They're just funny.
You know, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. If they were actually real.
Yeah,
that's
a good shout.
But yeah, they're funny fellas.
There's an alien who's tucking his alien child into bed, and then someone it's just ridiculous. Someone comes running out and is like, "Whoa, Mr. Alien, come on. Come quick. Galactus is coming." They've been preparing for Galactus to come for a long time. They've been very worried about it. They're like, "Galactus is coming." And he's like, "Well, I guess this is like..." To a lot of alien civilizations who know about Galactus, Galactus is like the apocalypse. Like the day Galactus comes, they all die. And so they're like, we're all doomed. And then all of the superpowered zombies arrive, all wearing like Galactus suits. They all show up. They've literally just taken Galactus's whole gimmick of going from planet to planet and eating the whole world. And then they move to another one.
But instead of eating the world itself,
they eat all the people. They eat all the people, leave everything a ruin, and then they move on to the next planet to keep fulfilling their hunger.
Man, I love that final line is mad. It's feeding time, boys. From I love that. Wow. Yeah, you weren't lying when you said Marvel Zombies is dumb. I want more. That's the thing. I might.
Well, I mean, we'll do the second Kirkman one, and I've just not heard that it's very good from that point on. But I mean, we can just keep doing it.
What this was like? If I'm going from a comic book point of view, where I'm like, oh, will I get a friend really into comic books, and I show him this? No way. Like, this is dumb, but it's dumb fun.
Yeah.
So like, I might have to delve myself into Marvel Zombies, which, hearing from how you said some of them go, probably not a very good idea. But
I don't know. It's hard for me to imagine many storylines that come after this, because the problem with doing the like inherent flaw in taking superheroes and making them zombies who, when you cut off their heads, they don't die, is like, well, who's going to beat them? Because they're superheroes already. And that's why, like, it never interested me to read more, because the end of the book is like, yeah, who's going to beat him?
I would say the Human Torch would have, but he's obviously a skeleton now,
yeah.
So, but yeah. I thought Fire might, but
I'm sure they must come up with some sort of way that they can be beaten, but they've already eaten Galactus.
Or they just take it into another dimension. They basically go, okay, this is the dumbest outcome where the zombies somehow beat Galactus. And then beat Galactus but zombies. That's fun. And then they might just have to go, okay, that's OP though. So let's control this.
It feels like when you play, it's like they've condensed a whole video game into this one storyline. Because if you played like a Marvel Avengers game, I mean, there is that one that sucks, but that doesn't matter.
We don't talk about that.
If you were playing like like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the like side scroller beat 'em ups.
Yeah.
If you played like a Marvel version of that, but it was the Avengers, it would play out like this, obviously without the zombie stuff, where it'd be like, okay, you fight some villains, then maybe you deal with the Silver Surfer, and then Galactus is the end boss. So to cover all of that in that period and be like, they've eaten Galactus, there's not really that many places you can go after Galactus.
It feels like award-winning game Fable.
Fable. I didn't expect Fable.
So you start pretty bad, but then you defeat everything in your way, and then after that, you are literally everything that the world needs. So
Yeah.
that you are done. That's done. That storyline is gone. And then they release Fable 2.
Yeah.
And then they go, oh, that guy, he died.
Yeah.
But that's how I feel like this is, where they most probably did this and then went, no one beats Galactus zombies, do they? No, they don't.
I'm sure that
Because you could chop them in half and they'd still be like, I still want to eat you and I have cosmic powers.
Yeah.
And you're like, you know what?
I'm gonna see if there's a plot description for Marvel Zombies 2.
Fable 2.
I have played that game like a million times. I do not need a plot description for that. Did they ever release Fable 4? Did that come out?
Oh no, it's still in development at the moment. Do you not remember the trailer 2 years ago?
Yeah, I remember the trailer and being like, yo, and then
I played Fable the other day. I like Fable. I'm a Fable fanboy.
Yeah, me too.
Man, the amount of times I've spent doing woodcutting on Fable is embarrassing.
So I'll just read the first little plot paragraph on Wikipedia, because we will do this at some point.
Okay, so what's this on again?
This is on Marvel Zombies 2.
Electric Boogaloo. Nice.
Still written by Robert Kirkman. 40 years after leaving the Earth, the cosmic-powered zombies have systematically devoured all other life in the universe.
Okay.
As well as infected the Titan Thanos, the mutant Phoenix, Shi'ar warrior Gladiator, and the former Herald of Galactus, Firelord, with the zombie plague. So, like, nearly everything, right? They then decide to return to Earth and rebuild the interdimensional portal that Magneto destroyed 40 years ago, in hope of finding more food. On their way to Earth, they encounter Ego, the living planet. Surprised that there is a living planet, the zombies don't hesitate to devour him. And then it mentions about Black Panther being old and on Earth.
I always forget how big the Marvel universe is as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of space to go. Do you know? I don't know if you would know it by me just saying the name, but Ego, the living planet,
Guardians
is
of the Galaxy
Kurt
2.
Russell. Yeah,
Kurt Russell.
Yeah.
Wow. I like him too, but I don't think he's a living planet. Yeah. I think he's calmed down. But yeah, in Guardians of the Galaxy 2, he's almost like, yo, you're my son, and then everyone's like, he's a dick, and he goes, no, not me. I'm Kurt Russell. I'm never a dick. Yeah. Which is just not what you should listen to. If Kurt Russell came to me and said, I'm never a dick, you're a liar.
Yeah.
He plays a dick in like every film.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't trust him.
You wouldn't trust Kurt Russell? I mean, I would. I'd be Chris Pratt in that situation.
I mean, if he was like, I'm your dad, I'd be like, I'm in. Let's go.
Really? You want to be my... Sure, okay. Let's ride this out.
Yeah.
And if he wants to kill me in the end? It was alright for a couple of months.
I don't know, I don't know if there's really anything else left to say. I feel like we could sit and ponder what they do for ages, but I feel like we should probably just read it.
Yeah, here and that, it basically looks like they it was a 50-50 I was going with. I was thinking, you know what, they probably did the smart thing of going, you know what, screw this, we'll just start Marvel Zombies from scratch and then build from that. But it looks like Kirkman double downs and then goes, okay, let's go interdimensional with this.
It seems very
Marvel,
much like...
And how will I ever be able to go interdimensional with Walking Dead?
Yeah, it seems like... where we were like, they've already beaten Galactus, what else is there? It seems like someone asked Robert Kirkman that question and he was like, let me have a think. And
my guess of how they get defeated, because they must get defeated in the end, because otherwise they'd have carried it on again, is Galactuses from multiple universes get together and defeat zombie Galactuses. Opinions?
I just read something about...
Where's the Scarlet Witch?
Good question. Don't know.
Is Squirrel Girl Marvel as well? Squirrel Girl's not normally talked about, but she is the most powerful being.
She doesn't tend to show up in a lot of stuff though.
Maybe because she's broken.
Hmm.
They broke her and was just like, no patch for that. But Scarlet Witch is just gone at this.
I should explain as well, not that it comes up, so you wouldn't know it unless you like read all of the dialogue. They call Captain America Colonel America because he got promoted.
That is dumb. That's funny though. That is funny.
It just seems like it's like Black Panther and the Acolytes trying to work out what happened, trying to work out how to beat him.
Do not tell me that Black Panther beats him. That doesn't make sense. Wait, he can. How much damage can Black Panther like absorb? Because it's never really. I've
Depends on what the plot needs. I feel
firstly, I'd be surprised if you've ever read a Black Panther.
I've never read a solo one, no.
Or if anyone has really.
Mm.
I've never even heard that he has his own comic. I've just seen that he gets involved in stuff. But
yeah,
if he can absorb a lot, that could kill them, right?
Yeah. I mean,
it means like stringing up like a punching bag and hoping that he wins.
Yeah.
Apart from that, you're dead.
Yeah, this this doesn't sound very good, but we'll do it anyway because it'll be funny. At least.
Hell yeah!
I mean, that's one of the good things about Marvel Zombies is even if it's not good, you know it's going to be fun. So,
well, next one hopefully we get out on time.
Well, this one is a week late.
Yeah,
over a week.
The one that needs to come out will be on
It'll be next
28th. So it'll be next Friday.
We could probably do that.
Yeah, because you're now working a better job. We
can do like
better hours. We can possibly start giving you regular better episodes. Fingers crossed. No promises.
And I know the next book really well. I just need to make a few notes, but I don't need to go and read it all again. I've read it a few times.
Oh
so
yeah, we have to swap back to DC.
Mm.
Damn it. Man, Zombies 2, Electric Boogaloo is really getting me.
We'll get back to that soon. We'll do it
next Halloween.
next Halloween, but also late.
You guys remember last Halloween we did it late?
We're gonna run out of Halloween stuff to do, my dude. So we're gonna have to do it at some point.